My name is Prem. I am a director, credit and trade finance in Bank of Bhutan. I have been working in the bank for about now 18 years. I was in the different areas of the bank. Now I have taken over as a credit director recently. Now it's been about 7 to 8 months now. The green and sustainable finance has been gaining the traction to move to higher in agenda in the Bank of Bhutan because you know that Bhutan uh, has mandated in the constitution that we need to have at least 60% of the forest cover. So in the constitutions, it is very clearly mentioned that all the individual people, citizens, and the institutions in the country has to follow this mandate. So based on this, we started the green and sustainable finance from 2017 onwards very seriously. So we first, what we thought was, why not we build the capacity within the institutions to be a green, because this area is a pretty new area for Bank of Bhutan as well as for Bhutan also. So we started, accreditation processes to the GCF in two areas. One is to build the capacity. Then other area is to get access to the loan component. GCF has three components. As one is the loan component, grant component, and the equity component. So we are now in the process of getting into access to the loan component. And also, very recently, we have signed a memorandum of understanding with the WWF and Department of Renewable Energy, government agency, for promoting the energy efficiency measures in the country. And also, we have, uh, had a discussions. I had two rounds of meeting. Very recently, the last round of meeting with the central bank regarding the green finance. So green finance regulations is in the process of coming in. The central bank is getting towards finalizing the green finance regulations in the country, and also guidelines for investment and the capital reallocations to the green and sustainable finance. The BOB has, Bank of Bhutan has changed its corporate strategic plan, which was designed in 2020, that is for 5 years, 20 up to 2024. So we have changed very recently to align our strategy to green and sustainable finance. So we are thinking of having a certain percentage of our green portfolio uh, in the overall portfolio. For example, it can be 1%, 2%, or whatever it is. So based on this commitment, so we will be getting towards targeting the green and sustainable finance, so that we can build up certain percentage of portfolio into green and sustainable finance. So it is a very important question. This is the area where we have been struggling to sort it out at present. Just because the reason is the financial system is a vital link in enabling the rapid economic transformations to meet the sustainable goal. Therefore, the green and sustainable development is possible only when we make our financial system strong and resilient, because it is the responsibility of the financial sector to reallocate the resources to the right areas. So it is important for us to have green finance policy framework. This is the missing link where at present we are struggling, because in the absence of a very clear policy framework, it is difficult for us to mandate to our customer or to our client also. So it is important that we need to have this type of very clear framework, so that we can play within the framework and also meet the goal as per the wishes of the government or any agencies or the industry that is being into it. So other thing is like in the Europe, if you look at European country, they have very clear green finance taxonomy. So why not we also come up with a similar type of taxonomy, where it is very clear, a very clear mandate is given there, very clear SIC code, very clear NAS code, industry standard industry classifications code, and all those things are given there, where the industries are in a position to access to the green finance. This is probably, if it is not there, it is missing in our side. If it is there, it is good. But if it is not there, I think it is important for at least for the SKS regions to come up with this type of very clear taxonomy for us only, so that all the financial institutions, all the financial sector, financial systems in the SKS countries should, play a very important role in order to, gear this with the green and sustainable development to the higher level. The other thing is that probably we need to mandate the financial sector to dedicate certain percentage of their loan portfolio into green and sustainable finance. This is important. Like, for example, in Singapore, now they are mandating the MAS, that is Monetary Authority of Singapore, is mandating all the institutions to have certain percentage of their portfolio towards green and sustainable finance. So because of this, the financial institutions see a lot of opportunities in terms of investment there. So they also, take the responsibility as well as take the advantage of this, the rules and regulations, advantage of these, opportunities which is there as a business opportunities. So it is important for us to have all those things in place. The Bank of Bhutan has recently, now it's been 2 years now, we have started dedicated green finance window. We have dedicated team. So we feel that it is important for us to green ourselves first. So we started a couple of loan product and services. We have changed our manual of instructions, the credit manual, which we call it, within our institutions. Now this credit manual, we have dedicatedly came up with the green and sustainable finance manual, wherein we have started varieties of the range of the financial innovative instrument. But as I said, in the absence of all those, taxonomy regulations, all those things, we're not in a position to really align this. Of course, whatever we can do, we have come up with the green EMB loan, that is for electric motor vehicle loan, which is dedicated to the electric cars. Now, this electric cars is actually, we are encouraging the transportation sector, specifically tourism sector, transportation to tourism, and then also taxis and all those things. They are now, the government is also mandating to go green by replacing all those fossil fuel car by 2025. So government has recently installed the electric vehicle charging stations, which will be free for 5 years. Now by 2020, probably more than 200 to 300 such stations will be installed across the countries to encourage that. So we are also pushing from the bank side, saying that no collateral requirement is there for EMB loan, no guarantees are required. But for credit risk mitigations, we are trying to have some sort of, the memorandum of understanding with the government. So we have signed a MOU with the government and also the transportation associations of the country. And we are also starting the home loan, that is green home loan. We got a help from WWF and GCF to have the terms and conditions and the criteria for the green home loan. There are multiple criteria are there in the green home loan. So we have included that into our manual of instructions, that is credit manual. And also the green education loan. The green education loan is basically for the students or the scholars, those who want to pursue higher studies in the green and sustainable finance. So we are also financing them to go for higher studies. And also we have a green agriculture loan that is basically for the agriculture sector and other, the farming sector. And we started green road loan also. This is basically to promote the circular economy. The green road loan, they don't use betterments. They use plastic as their, raw material to blacktop the, roads. So these are some of the areas where we are exploring so that we can go green as well as we can support the sector which is going for a green or motivating them to go for a green. Very interesting questions, because I was just thinking last time when we made a presentations to the mountain tourisms and all those things. We have probably common goal, but with the differentiated responsibility maybe, but it seems that we are in the different level. Now, it is important for every one of us to come together, at least in HKH regions, especially the financial sector. The financial sector of all the countries should be in the same page so that we can, gear towards a common goal. The one area I found was that the financial sector has not really recognized themselves as, one of the most important player in the green and, sustainable economy. The reason why I'm saying this is just because that probably either the central bank or the financial system themselves has to come forward, saying that these are the opportunities where we need to, work towards. Uh, Number one, the financial systems or the financial sector should recognize themselves that it is very important for us, and we need to be a part of this move. Uh, unless we are part of this overall ecosystems of a green and sustainable finance, probably one will be the missing link, that is the financial sector. The financial sector is the most important link in the green and sustainable finance. So I would actually suggest that all the financial institutions should come together. We should have a expertise from the financial sector to drive this opportunity towards green and sustainable finance. And also the financial sector must make commitment towards the green and sustainable finance. Commitment is required. Unless there is a commitment from the financial sector, it will be really difficult, because financial sector is a very unique sector where there are a lot of nitty-gritties are involved there. And also we have a lot of regulations. We are highly regulated industry in the world. So because of that, we need to come forward ourselves and make commitment. And I also feel that we need to have, if otherwise not there, think tank for HKH, including the financial sector, involving all the stakeholders, also industry experts, to harmonize the HKH countries' rules and regulations, if any, if there is differences. For example, there should not be different rules and regulations for the different countries within HKH region. We should have one framework, one rules and regulations, one taxonomy for us to come together. Now, I found it that within the country also, within the sector, there are many differences in the rules and regulations. We need to harmonize that rules and regulations. And also we need to make financial systems very strong and resilient. It is very important. And financial system must be well positioned themselves to drive these waves of opportunities. Now, this is one area that we need to sort it out, because just now everybody knows green and sustainable, but the private sector, they have, in the absence of all those rules and regulations, there is no clarity in the private sector. When they go for a green, whether it's really going to be profitable for them or whether it will be sustainable for them or not. There are a lot many questions that the private sector are raising. The issues just now is just because that, the capital intensive project, greens and sustainables are one thing. The technology is new. We need to invest a lot in the technology. Not much trust are built in the technology. And other thing is that the project actually there is a maturity mismatch in terms of the project returns. These projects are it has very long payback period. Now the entrepreneur, basically what they do is they wanted to have overnight returns, meaning that maybe they wanted to have returns in a very short period of time, because they need to pay back the loans or the credit they have availed from the financial institutions. So it becomes heavier for them in the beginning. So they are not in a position to really calculate the future cost of their present decisions. So this is the area that we need to really look into it by relaxing certain relaxation from the government side, from the financial institution side, in terms of maybe in terms of the rate of interest, in terms of the risk weights in the loans and advances, or collateral, or maybe relaxing or increasing the tenure of the loan. If you increase the tenure of the loan, for example, in Bhutan, for a service or a manufacturing industry, we give a loan for 20 years. So why not 40 years or maybe 35 years to 40 years? Now, if you look at the overall data, historical data, I guess there is one bank in the European countries, a Triodas bank. This bank is actually the ethical bank. Now, this bank was established 40 years ago. Now, they were struggling somewhere. Now it's running more than 40 years. Now, this bank is one of the most profitable bank in the European country. Now, they are purely in uh, green and sustainable financing only. So previously, for 15 years, 20 years, they were struggling because these banks were struggling because the payback period from the business investment is longer. Now the business is also picking up, resulting the profitable business for the bank. So there are a lot many things that we can do. Of course, at present, the private sectors are not really, comfortable, not really confident because they have no data to prove that failure and the success of the green. But way forward, moving forward, probably we can do a lot many things. We can come up with a lot many support measures. We can come up with a lot many derivatives for the private sector to make this green finance as attractive and sustainable finance by the government. Thank you.